Welcome once again, right at the top of the hour, and of course 2 minutes past 10 o'clock. We are sorry to arrive to you this late. My name is Patricia Lukumampango Mgalu Mohammed on sign language. Into news tonight, President Museveni, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, Uganda Defense Forces, has issued a directive for the nomadic pastoralists in Acholi, Lango and West Nile sub-regions of Uganda to leave those areas within a period of 3 weeks. The President's order applies to pastoralists who have failed to properly fence off their land and those who are grazing on government lands in these regions. President Museveni made these remarks during a meeting with the leaders from Amoro district in Okidi South Village, Atiak, a sub-county, to address concerns raised by the indigenous population regarding the indiscipline of the nomadic pastoralists who allowed their cattle to graze in people's gardens. In his address, President Museveni emphasized the need for responsible land management, urging those who have cows in unfenced areas to leave within 3 weeks. He tasked the Division Commander RPC and the Minister for Northern Uganda to issue orders for people to remove their cows from unfenced areas. The President also directed pastoralists to have occupied the government trenches such as Lalakang and Aswa to vacate these areas as well within the same period of time. In response to this situation, the President also announced that he has instructed the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao, to draft legislation criminalizing nomadism. President Museveni also urged the people of Acholi sub-region to avoid subdivision and subdividing properties, especially land, describing it as detrimental practice. He advocated for the promotion of shares in family enterprises and pledged support for the dairy industry in Atiak sub-county and the border region. The meeting was attended by the Minister of State for Northern Uganda, Honorable Grace Freedom Chuyichenyi, the Minister of State for Environment, Honorable Beatrice Anywar, as well as the area MPs and leaders from Amoro district.
My people suffering in Anaka. I said, what are you doing here? They said, we have nowhere to go. I said, but Uganda is big. If there is war here, you go to other parts of Uganda. And they said, where do we go? I said, you cross the Nile and go on the other side. They listened to my advice and crossed the Nile and went to a place called Boyari. And the majority of the people there are Acholi people. So, don't talk care now. So what do I do now? If they say other non-Acholi cannot come to Acholi, then what do I do with my Wayare people? Do I say you go back or what? So you need to be careful. And of course, many Acholi people own land in Kampala. We own. So therefore, we need to handle the issue. These people are playing around. They should stop. I can see about 5 points. The first one is the destruction of crops. This is a very serious offense. Therefore, to have people destroying people's crops is totally not acceptable. And therefore, I just want to cross-check briefly. But it's clear that if you have got cattle which are in an area which is not fenced, then obviously they are liable to cause damage to people's crops. I am going to have a final meeting with the two opinions, the ones who were for the immediate eviction of the Bararo and the ones who were going to say go slowly, as the minister was saying. I will have another meeting in Entebbe and we conclude. But
now, in a related story, Venezuela is set to open up an embassy in Uganda to support Uganda as it prepares to host the non-aligned movement heads of state summit in 2024. Today, the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, met with the Minister of the People's Power for Foreign Affairs of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, His Excellency Uganda Pinto. The meeting took place in the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala. There is more to this report.
The Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, has commended the Republic of Venezuela for expressing willingness to support Uganda as it prepares to host the Non-Aligned Movement Summit next year. The Prime Minister said the Republic of Venezuela and Uganda enjoy cordial relations and already have two existing memorandums of understanding in the areas of tourism and habitat and housing. She noted that these two areas of cooperation will deepen and enhance the bilateral relations between Uganda and the Republic of Venezuela.
On behalf of government, I would like to state that these MOUs represent a step in the right direction as far as strengthening our bilateral relations and collaboration is concerned. For instance, the purpose of the MOU on tourism is to market the tourism subsector of our two countries. It is also intended to facilitate the promotion of the two countries as key tourism destinations and facilitate our participation in each other's tourism fairs and exhibitions. This MOU is designed to facilitate meetings between our two operators through the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities of the Republic of Uganda, and the Ministry of People's Power for Tourism of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
According to the Minister of the People's Power for Foreign Affairs of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, His Excellency Uganda Pinto, the non-aligned movement is fundamental in ensuring peace and goodwill among countries. During the meeting, he highlighted potential areas of collaboration between the Republic of Venezuela and Uganda, especially in the oil and gas industry.
As we told last night to His Excellency President Museveni, we have precise instructions of President Nicolas Maduro to strengthen the bonds of cooperation with Uganda and to apply it and to reach very concrete and specific projects of cooperation. We already offered, we mentioned yesterday in other meetings, and we are reiterating it today, that we are immediately waiting for, and is already invited, a technical delegation from Uganda that can go to Venezuela and to see and to make contact with our oil industry so that you can receive all the support that you need.
The Republic of Venezuela subscribes to both the G77 plus China and the non-aligned movement. This report was compiled by Doreen Nasasra and Derek Senyonga for UBC News.
Now, a section of members of parliament have expressed mixed reactions over the elections of the backbench members of Parliamentary Commission. The members of the Parliament Commission serve for 2.5 years. That's the period, and the 4 representatives from the backbench are elected according to the rules of procedure of the House. As the current term of the commissioners nears expiry, the debate to replace the backbench representatives cannot go unnoticed.
Parliament amended its rules of procedure in May 2019 to allow backbench commissioners to be nominated by the government and opposition chief whips before approval by the whole House. The successful commissioners serve a term of 2.5 years.
As part of giving an opportunity to others to serve, that is why you see some being reshuffled and you see new faces to serve.
Accordingly, the term of office for the current commissioners nears expiry, and effort to fill the positions is a hot topic as the Parliament enjoys a 2-week recess.
We have issued, or the Office of the Government Chief Whip, who chairs the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, has issued a notice for expression of interest by interested party members in Parliament.
The Parliamentary Commission, which is established by the Administration of Parliament Act, is the topmost administrative body in the legislature, chaired by the Speaker. It, among others, comprises the Leader of Government Business, the Leader of Opposition, the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and 4 backbench MPs. Despite the shift in policy to allow the House to act as the constituent college for purposes of election, some members of Parliament have expressed mixed reactions.
So if it happens that even now they will be appointed, so if members of Parliament together, I am saying together, we still think that we should be given back the mandate to vote individually, then we will still have to come back together, look for ways on how to put our voice and then reinstate the process of election. But otherwise, we will go by what the authority will have decided, because that is what will be reigning at the time.
In one of the Chankwan's NRM caucus resolutions of June 2023, the narrative to elect NRM backbench members to the Parliamentary Commission was reclaimed from the Parliament constituency. But this was to be approved by the NRM Central Executive Committee, SEC, which status has since not been made public.
And that is our position, a position that was agreed to by the chairperson, who is President Yoweri Museveni. We want to elect commissioners so that they are accountable to the members. But also, secondly, looking at our rules of procedure, Rule 11, Sub-Rule 4, I think says that every side of the House, the government and opposition, must elect their members. So we are not going to entertain the issue of appointing commissioners. And that is what we stand with.
The position as it is stands. So my communication quotes a provision which is still a valid one, not yet amended, implying that is the provision of the rules of procedure as it is, not as I wish, as we wish, but as it is. So that is what we are using at the moment.
This debate also comes at a time when the Mintiana Municipality MP Francis Zake is in suspense, as his position of a member of the commission hangs in balance even after a constitutional court ruling. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Thank you, Daniel and Gloria. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, has tasked the Attorney General to guide on the fate of causing for the amendment of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. In a letter addressed to the AG, the Speaker notified of some requests from private members proposing various amendments to the Constitution. The letter, dated 26 October 2023, tasks the Attorney General's chambers to interest itself on the proposals, which, in the Speaker's opinion, contain some ideas which could pose legal and practical challenges. The Speaker also asked to understand the fate of the Constitutional Review Commission, which has been discussed from time to time.
In a 3-page letter which leaked to the media, dated 26 October 2023, addressed to the Attorney General, the Speaker of Parliament highlighted 5 requests from private members for motions for leave of Parliament to introduce private members' bills proposing various amendments in the Constitution of Uganda. Among the requests include that of Clark North County MP Anthony Akol, who proposes the amendment to Articles 77, 82, 109 and 181 to empower Parliament to transact business following the death of the Speaker, to prescribe the time within which Parliament is to elect a Speaker or Deputy Speaker following the death or vacation of the Speaker or Deputy Speaker, and to empower the Vice President and Speaker who assumes the office of the President following the death, resignation or removal of the President to serve for the residual term of the President. Kabasharira Naume, MP, Rushenyi County, whose amendment intends to reduce the number of members of Parliament, and Saro Pendi, the District Woman Representative Tororo, who intends to amend the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to require the President to suspend a minister who has been charged with an offence, and to require the President to remove a minister against whom a vote of censure has been passed by Parliament.
Yes, I know representation of the people is very important. I know what it is, but even one person can represent, because the President is representing all of us and we are satisfied. He's the President. We don't have many presidents. So representation, I have a feeling that a small number can do, because it is just representation. That's why it is called representation. Otherwise, if it was not, everyone would want to be in Parliament.
The other day, we almost had a crisis here when we lost a speaker. We almost had a crisis. And there are many issues that emerge. Others come as a result of pronouncements by court.
In the considered opinion of the presiding officer of Parliament, Anita Among fronts a challenge of contravening Article 93 of the Constitution, as some of the ideas suggested pose legal and practical challenges. The Speaker tasked the Attorney General's chambers to guide accordingly, suggesting two solutions, including government taking over the proposed bills or the highly anticipated Constitutional Review Commission acting as the game changer.
We shall work together to make sure that they bring it as government. So what is, if they could not allow me that this motion is tabled, because some members are hearing rumors and what, so that members discuss and bring in their views. Probably it will help when the Constitutional Review Commission is put in place. They will also have better ideas just to write the Constitution and amend it.
Is that we are at the initial stages of establishing the Constitutional Review Committee or Commission. That is what I know as a member of Cabinet, that we are at the very, very infant stage of establishing the Constitutional Review Commission.
The move by the private members to introduce such sensitive proposals also shakes the position of government in introducing bills in Parliament. Of recent, private members' bills have highly taken momentum in the 11th Parliament.
We can only hope that immediately we resume, the minister should be able to table before Parliament the steps that have been taken to have a Constitutional Review Commission in place. If that does not happen, then we should be able to bring up any bills that we may have as private members.
Nevertheless, the Speaker requested the sponsors of the intended bills to liaise with the Attorney General for a harmonized position. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Guitabinji, UBC News.
Now, the Vice-Chancellor of Mbarara University of Science and Technology, Professor Celestino Obua, has assumed the office of the chairperson for the Uganda National Examination Board, UNEB, from Professor Mary Okwakwol, who has served in that capacity since 2014. The office handover was witnessed by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Chrysostom Moyingo, who committed towards bridging the funding gap for the body.
The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataya Museveni, appointed Celestino Obua on the 12th of October 2023 as the new board chairperson of the Uganda National Examinations Board to replace Professor Mary Okwakwol, who has served as board chair since 2014. State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Namayingo, witnessed the office handover.
You, Professor.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports appointed Professor Celestino Obua under the powers conferred to her by the Enable Act of 2021. It's not everything was done according to the law, and I have no doubt that Professor Obua will take over and continue the excellent work that Professor Pakol has been spearheading. You can see the excellent work.
Professor Kwakol presented a report of achievements during her tenure, especially infrastructure and policies which have emanated into the recent passed UNEB Act of 2021.
Modalities, including continuous assessment as part of the final grade in the new lower secondary curriculum. And fourth and last, there has been reduction in the cases of examination malpractice, and this has been as a result of measures that have been put in place. And these measures included improved storage and security of examinations in the field, intensive sensitization of the public.
The outgoing chair hinted on challenges that have complicated serving the examinations body, including underfunding and delayed restructuring of candidates' registration fees.
The unit cost of administering the examinations has gone above the examination fees charged per candidate. The current fees were set about 6 years ago, and as you know, things change, costs change, and they don't change downward, they change upward. The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has also not been matching its releases to the board to the number of candidates registered under the Universal Education Program.
The new board chairperson, Professor Celestino Obua, promises to commence already initiated programs for the body, as well as fundamental transformation.
And I shall conduct myself in a spirit of cooperation and respect for the collective decisions of the board of directors, and subordinate my personal interest to the best interest of the organization. I would want to say that together with the members of the 11th board, we will follow up on some of the issues that you've highlighted as challenges and see how we can address them, where we can address them in-house, where it requires external consultation, we shall also follow that. It is therefore very humbling for me today to accept the position that have been appointed to.
Professor Celestino Obua is the current Vice Chancellor of Mbara University of Science and Technology. Abdul Nasili Lugama for UBC.
A newly constructed multi-billion building to host Grade 1 Magistrates Court, Central Police Station and the Directorate of the Public Prosecution DPP has been commissioned in Namayingo district. The building that costs 1.62 billion shillings was funded by the Uganda government in a bid to provide good structures and conducive environment for both the police and judiciary in Namayingo district.
The Grade 1 Magistrates Court, Central Police Station and the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecution, DPP, in Namayingo district have finally got new convenient office space. This comes after the commissioning of a multi-billion building constructed by the government of Uganda to house the offices in question.
Those who like to sit, they are always provided with stools. There are stools actually not low.
Namayingo District LC5 Chairperson Ronald Sanya says the Grade 1 Magistrates Court has been operating in the premises of the Deputy District Speaker and court sessions conducted in the Council Hall, which has been an inconvenience.
And as you know, many people come from the islands, the 13 islands of this district. And because sometimes of lack of space, people have not been getting justice. Some people would come and there is no room for court to operate from.
He applauded government and asked for more support, especially to the sub-counties in the distant islands.
Time that I should not receive in office complaints from the public that the magistrate is not in Namayingo. That court has not taken place today because of ABC. We have the facilities here.
Peter Okello, the commissioner from the judiciary, says they are still having challenges of lack of space to house their offices in most districts.
In this chain, you have a responsibility beyond these buildings. You need to go out to the community, sensitize them, let them know that the services are here and this is what the services do to them.
Namayingo District RDC Solomon Baleketreva tasked the Judicial Authority to start handling all their work smoothly. Agnes Nabafu is the Namayingo District Senior Grade 1 Magistrate.
Congestion, we shall no longer have those problems we've been having. We pray that you continue with the cooperation that you've been extending to us so that we can perform better and better than we can perform to our expectations.
You have accorded us. Thank you everybody who has had a hand in this project. We pledge to render service and this time probably about self. Thank you very much.
Namayingo District leadership applauded government for the timely development.
Makerere University Business School, in collaboration with the Global Peace Foundation, has undertaken an initiative to train teachers and various stakeholders, including development partners and school inspectors, on the subject of transformation or transforming education. Series 1. The theme is to endeavor shaping a purposeful future together through transformative education.
These comprehensive training sessions were conducted at Makerere University Business School with the ultimate aim of preparing the future of education to cultivate individuals capable of becoming job creators, quality leaders, innovators, champions, responsible citizens, and contributors to the prosperity and peace of nations. The Minister for Public Service, Muluri Mukasa, graced the event and emphasized the critical role of character development in combating corruption and embezzlement, particularly among government officials.
Mulukiko lwatikikibwa wano nga lunyweza ensonga y'empisa ne oba tukikugambe tutya character kigambo kya luzungu enneeyisa kwegana embeera zo mu bulamu bwo nga bweweeyisa bw'okola n'engeri gy'okuziddwamu.
He advocated for inclusion of character education in the new curriculum for a transformative force for future generations. Minister Mukasa promised government support and integration of the innovative approach into the education system. Ambassador Kambula Milton, representing the Global Peace Foundation, highlighted the potential of including character and transformative education in the new curriculum.
We were able to conclude our 2 days workshop that was focusing on visualizing the purpose and the future of education in the global south towards 2050. And the 2 days has helped us to now build a transformative education model for Uganda.
Collaboration between Makerere University Business School and the Global Peace Foundation aims to revolutionize education by instilling character development and transformative education principles.
That for us to achieve the transformative education towards the Agenda 2050, we got to really start focusing and prioritize character development, but also creativity development, which will now become the foundation for producing moral and innovative leaders.
Sudat Kaye and Patrick Mugerwa, UBC News.
Now delving into the PDM, Parish Development Model, the Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, has taken significant steps to expedite the disbursement of parish development revolving funds in Kampala district. The minister's efforts aims to address challenges faced by technical personnel responsible for delivering these funds to the intended beneficiaries. Speaking to the parish chiefs in Kampala district during a validation and disbursement exercise at Nakawa, Minister Majezi revealed that the process to allocate allowances and computers to technocrats to facilitate the process has been finalized.
Local Government Minister Raphael Majezi says government has allocated allowances and provided computers to support the technical personnel operating within the parish development model. These measures are part of a comprehensive package designed to streamline the distribution of the revolving funds.
Our parish revolving fund is targeting to support people in the agro businesses along the agro value chain. But you have the beneficiaries we're looking for in Kampala doing other sorts of businesses that are not in the agro value chain. For example, salons, for example, washing bays, for example, mechanics. So it was difficult for us in the start to see how their businesses could fit in the PDM plan.
Aisha Chinabi, the coordinator of the Kampala Parish model, expressed her appreciation for the minister's field visit and noting that by the end of this week, more than 50% of the parish development revolving funds will have reached their intended beneficiaries in Kampala district.
We have 98 circles, and out of these, 97 out of 98 have received 100 million each of their parish circles. Totals to 9.7 billion Uganda shillings.
In collaboration with the Parish Development Model Secretariat, efforts to provide mindset training to Kampala communities, focusing on various categories of the Parish Development Revolving Fund, have been put in place. These new initiatives are expected to bolster the disbursement process and enhance community participation.
At Kampala has about 68% of Kampala ghettos, their slums. So community mobilization and mindset change has to really be a continuous process for the PDM to be successful.
First and foremost is to preach the message of agro value chain. You do not have to be growing crops directly. You can be storing them, for example. You do not have to be rearing animals directly. You could be transporting them to the market, for example. Now, those are the kind of people who are in Kampala, and we wanted them to learn that. So our strategy is to continue preaching this message.
The Public Relations Officer of the Parish Development Model Secretariat, Sylvester Nyombi, emphasized the importance of these initiatives, highlighting their potential to benefit the Kampala communities.
The youth are some of the majority stakeholders in PDM, and whereas some people may think that they are not appreciating PDM, at least in the places where the money has been given out, they have got the 30% as required by Cabinet and Government. Please use it for what it was intended for, and let us be able to see development in our country starting from our households.
Kampala is home to 98 parishes, each with its own savings and credit cooperative, SACCO, and 97 parish development SACCOs have received the funds. However, the authorities have issued a caution to ensure that these funds are used for their intended purposes as per the parish development model's pillars. This recent government intervention is expected to accelerate the disbursement of funds and contribute to the success of the Parish Development Revolving Funds program in Kampala district.
Jovia. Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu. Nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa. Amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ageewala ennyo okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa Jovia kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli
tewali kkubo ku ki gy'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
The doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you. This cat thief again.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat. And ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Lagos.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bioresearch Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call 0703-152-152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
Welcome back, and of course into the education sector. High prices on equipment used by students in implementing the new secondary curriculum have been pointed out by students excuse me, as one of the challenges that hinder the implementation of the new curriculum.
In the same compound.
In 2020, Minister of Education and Sports introduced the new curriculum in secondary schools with an aim of developing students' skills and to address unemployment in the country. Since then, schools and students started to implement the curriculum, with some now showcasing their projects. During the National Schools Project exhibition at Nakawa, students exhibited some of their project works.
We are not only using this word at school. As the DIY members, you do it yourself. You also carry out this skill we have learned, you take it home. As you go with it home, you use it. That one you all you as your personal things. You use the money to buy your requirements.
Is the lava stage, which is called the mealworms. Now these mealworms turn into the paper stage. That paper stage, we crush it. Then you can get your maize. You also crush it and mix seeds. I assure your hands will enjoy it.
Students who attended the exhibition applauded the Ministry of Education and Sports for the curriculum, though highlighted some of the challenges.
Youth outside there, please gain confidence by yourself and stand up. Get that skill, you have to use it to help you in future.
Some of the materials we want better quality, but since where we stay, the quality is not good. And others is ignorance of the youth. Sometimes we reach out to the youth and you tell them, please come learn these skills, but they think you're wasting their time.
We're encouraging, one, homemade solutions, that each school should be able to come up with a solution to that issue of cost, but also promote creativity on the side of the teachers and the learners to use what is already available in the environment.
Alfred Chaka, the Assistant Commissioner from the Ministry of Education, is optimistic that once the students embrace the new curriculum, the challenge of unemployment in the country will be addressed.
We are very much impressed because it is a demonstration that our campaign under the revised lower secondary curriculum is actually taking root, because many of them have been able to demonstrate to us what they are able to do practically.
However, Minister of Education and Sports is still faced with some challenges in enforcing the new curriculum.
Automatically is the mindset to a curriculum that emphasizes hands-on practice. When this new initiative came, COVID-19 also set in. And here we face the issue of resources, because now government had to prioritize and deal with an emergency. However, as we talk now, materials in terms of textbooks for all subjects have reached all schools.
Fatuma Amala is the program coordinator of Como organization.
It's been 5 years of DIY implementing this in schools, and us coming up to do a national students projects exposition in the 5th year. We have gathered our evidence, we have proof that it's working, we have seen the remarkable progress and contributions to the individual students that participate in the club, to the teachers that do the patronage, to the other teachers that are not exactly following the club every day, to the entire school environment.
Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugudde, UBC News.
Still in the Ministry of Education, it has tasked schools and parents to make use of the menstrual materials such as books on menstruation established by the ministry to ensure curbing on stigma experienced by the girls during that period and getting in the know of what to do.
Gone are the days when talking of menstruation period in public was a taboo. In this modern era, girls and women are being taught and sensitized about menstrual information through books and workshops, among other initiatives. With this, the Ministry of Education has urged parents and schools to make use of the menstrual materials in a bid to curb on menstrual stigma and keep the girl child in school.
We have so many write-ups about how to manage menstruation in young girls. So these materials, we normally give them to the schools. Supposed to be supported, we give them to the senior women teacher to help the girl child to stay in school.
This was during the closure of the Soloza Oris campaign initiative that saw various schools across the country participate in collecting Oris and Taleware empty packs with the aim of keeping the girl child in school, but also to teach about environmental conservation.
Central was the most participating region, where we had about 45% of the 800,000 of the 800 schools that participated. They came from Central, followed by 35% in East, and then West and North followed respectively. While the program looks to keep the girls in school such that they fare well in their education, the impact has mostly been with the large number of participants this time around as compared to the editions from before.
Over 600,000 empty packs were collected, with Chintale Progressive Secondary School emerging the overall win of Southern Orange 2023 in Central Region.
What I learned of this is that you cannot solidly do it alone, but sensitization of the reason to why we ought to correct and see how we also better the hygiene and most especially to do with also the litter.
Boys' involvement cannot be forgotten because when you talk about menstrual stigma, it's usually the boys that normally laugh at the girls, but this time round they were involved in the sense that they were participating very pivotally in collecting the empty packs and also aiding the girls to partake in the program.
Naiga Zuleika from the Ministry of Education and Sports appealed to companies who produce sanitary wear to deduct on their prices for affordability of both women and girls.
I take this opportunity to thank so much Soloza for the wonderful work you do on behalf of Ministry of Education. A girl can have a heavy flow and she may require 3 packs of pads for a period. So a mother, someone even in Kampala here, there are those parents who are poor that they can afford 1 pack. So to the project manager, we really need at least to see a decrease in the pack.
The beneficiaries of this campaign were awarded with laptops, school fees, and a full year supply of sanitary wear.
And I feel excited, as you see, I feel happy because I've won myself 1 million shillings and a full year of always supply.
I'll help my sisters and my fellow classmates and some of my schoolmates.
This is the 3rd edition of Southern Orange campaign, where various schools such as Bina Islamic School, Chitintale Progressive School, and Pomkasa Secondary School, among others, participated. Rebecca Natongo, UBC News.
Now, over 1,000 women in Kakumiro district have tested positive for cervical cancer, with some being referred to Uganda Cancer Institute, Mulago. Dr. Gerald Mutunji, the Assistant Commissioner of the Non-Communicable Diseases and Prevention plus Control Department at the Ministry of Health, disclosed that Uganda registers 7,000 new cases of cervical cancer every year.
People die annually because of cancer of the cervix, and here in Uganda about 7,000 new cases of cancer of the cervix are diagnosed, and out of those 5,000 die every year because of cancer of the cervix.
And the unfortunate thing is that it's one cancer that can be prevented, where most of the other cancers cannot. This one can be prevented. It's something that we need to focus our energies on.
So the women that we tested and tested positive for this virus, the HPV virus, were invited for a follow-up screening service at the respective health center 3 facilities in their sub-counties, and we are
otyo mbakemye lubona mubaire muli kolaki
ndije kulagirira ono ngeri gyebawayo kumbaga ya mwene ngakozesa momope
eisimu eriwa gye buliko
tola yesimu wena nakobya ironi geisimu tobulira
eisimu yini
niga sita ndala mukaga 5 sita 3 otewe ashi onige yes balese chawo
balese merchant code gye balisaba mama kadibala ti
kayo buzono wa kitamu 7 mirundi 3
balisaba
kitamu sente dewe
baleta
mobile money
bali kunsaba pini
buchawo champini
iwa imwe sasula
aye baba embaga ya mwene mwekuwoniza
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Into the world of business, Postbank Uganda has unveiled a groundbreaking open service fintech app that integrates financial services from various banks and mobile money companies operating in Uganda with the promise to reduce the cost of interbanking transactions while promoting savings and enabling more people to join the money economy.
Postbank Uganda has launched a fintech app called Wendy, in a move that aims to usher in a new era of financial empowerment for the unbanked.
But the issue was there are so many options, but there are also limitations. So as a government bank, we thought we needed to have a solution that can get to the grassroots and we get to have visibility of more Ugandans.
The application's ability to enable access of financial services from various banks through a phone number and national ID makes Wendy a groundbreaking innovation in Uganda, perhaps the boldest step so far among financial sector players in the country.
As we moved closer to rollout, we chose to engage the other banks. And so far 6 banks have expressed interest in integrating with Wendy. In addition to Pride, Microfinance, Housing Finance Bank, Equity Bank, Exim Bank, DTB and Opportunity Bank.
Bank of Uganda has so far licensed 26 financial institutions as payment service providers and 4 entities, including 2 banks, as payment service operators.
You may know that digital wallets like Wendy allow users to store their payment information on their mobile devices and transact without needing cash or physical cards. Therefore, the universal adoption of Wendy in a country with low levels of digital financial literacy requires empowering customers and securing their trust.
Eyes are now on this new platform to see if it delivers what it promises. To do this, it is going to take strategies like an effective awareness campaign, efficient user-friendliness of the app, and security safe nets that guarantee data and financial protection to see it take off. Wadulo Mark Arnold, UBC News in Kampala.
Now still in business, let us turn onto the financial markets and see how the shilling and other markets are faring as we go through the preview. As we start off with the Forex market, as you can see in the preview, the Forex registered a fair fluctuation between the opening and the closing price to register 3,779.88 and 3,789.88. That was the opening price. And as you can see in the preview, the closing price was on a fair trend. And then on to the stock market. The Uganda Securities Exchange registered a total of 3 deals on the counter, recording less activity on the counter and of course with less price movement witnessed on 2 to 3 counters like Sipla and then NIC and Umeme as well. There was a fluctuation there on the prices, to trigger a little bit of performance, but it was minimal. And as we look, total turnover registered 3 million shillings, that is quite less, and of course with 66,000 shares on board. And as we look at the culprits, the leader of the wagon was Womeme with 2 million in turnover and 6,000 shares exchanged hands on the counter. And now into the world of sports. The 2023 MTN Momo Hackathon has climaxed with Team Kabozi emerging victorious. The grand finale was hosted at the Solis House Outbooks Hub along Lumumba Avenue in Kampala. Let's hear more.
You have the program in front.
3 years ago,
MTN Uganda launched its Open Application Programming Interface API hackathon, basically to expand the service offerings available on Momo. The company invited developers from multiple markets to participate in creating innovative applications that utilize the MTN mobile money APIs for their respective markets.
What this shows is that the journey has just started. It may seem that we're at a certain level, but when you just peel the onion, you realize that there are real issues around access, around service, around opportunity that are not as uniform or as accessible to everyone as they should be. And that is where you come in. That is where you come in. Because no society is ever going to evolve unless it takes accountability to resolve its challenges.
This year's hackathon was contested in 14 countries, including Ghana, Benin, Zambia, Cameroon, Liberia, Guinea, Conakry, Nigeria, South Sudan, Cote d'Ivoire, and Congo-Brazzaville. In Uganda, the grand final had 12 participants and climaxed with Team Cabos triumphant and taking the biggest share of the $10,000 prize.
A dream come true. Who knew I'd be counting in thousands of dollars, but now it's a possibility. Not much to celebrate. My team also says so.
Almost praise God. And I was sitting there, like my heart was just pumping, and I'm like, who is that? So I'm so happy, and I'm happy to be part of this.
It was a dream because it's not just an idea that has just come from now. It's something that has been, for example, let's say our parents have also been in that sector of the circles, the saving groups and everything. So it was like our own experience, and we are just wanting to bring it to real life, and we're really grateful for this.
The winner took $5,000. Second placed EcoCash bagged $3,000, while third placed SharePay took home $2,000. Hackathons bring people with technical backgrounds together for problem solving and developing new ideas.
The platforms are there and the opportunities are there. But what we've seen makes the difference is your perseverance as an entrepreneur. It's not easy to build a business, but if you're asked to show up, you show up. If you're given advice, you implement it. And you just keep on the path, you don't lose focus.
They also help participants hone their IT skills, meet people, and work with others in their field. Sudat Kaye and Vincent Wamundu, UBC News.
And into sports, the Uganda U20 women national football team, the Queen Cranes, continues with training ahead of their FIFA U20 Women's World Cup qualifiers encounter against Senegal. The team had a single training session promising readiness, as we hear more in this report.
Session, actually, for time being here, we've been training very well. And we had a trial match to test these players. We did not really play very well, but I'm very optimistic that we're going to improve in those areas that we saw were really demanding. Unfortunately, this weekend, yeah, we have some girls who will be going for their games, meaning every time we'll be training, we shall have a part that will be leaving and another part will be remaining. On their side, I say it's really good. They go and have that what we call a match fitness. In that after their matches, they will actually come back and join us. We have released them, and I'm very optimistic as they come back, we shall prepare adequately.
Now, after months of traversing different regions of the country, 160 pool players have made the finals to be held at Lugogo Indoor Stadium. 120 sports for the men and 28 the women will see winners walk away with brand new cars for both ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the draws, like you've seen the draws, first and foremost, they've been free and fair. We do it publicly in the press, in the presence of the press and everyone, the pool fraternity. So the expectations from the draws from our side as organizers, we expect a lot of competition, because I want to assure the viewers that 128 in the men's category, especially in the men's category, all of them were good. They qualified from all across the country. So from the draws, we expect some few tight fixtures in round one. Just one, to mention just one. This is Kasozi Ibrahim will be playing Asewan Kambo Fahad. Asewan Kambo Fahad was once a former champion, two-time champion. Kasozi has never won this, but he's one of the most on-form players, the number 7 in the country. So this is one of the major fixtures we are seeing. But other fixtures will be coming in at round 1, at round 2 and round 3. As we traverse, we are here to see big and better competition.
Thank you so much once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango and Mugalu Mohammed with us on sign language. It's a good night from us.